All right, guys, so watch this for Thursday. Start with FIVE, Five Below. Nothing that compelling here, except in after hours, it's up at 34 bucks. So you've got a nice rally from these lows up to almost 34, a couple red days, and then in after hours, I'm assuming they reported earnings. So if it were to open right now tomorrow morning, it's at 34. Who knows where it's going to open, but I'm going to stalk that one for a possible gap play. DGLY just goes back on bounce. We had the gap up on earnings. I like to see this. I like to see 2 red days in a row. To me, that's more fuel for a possible decent bounce tomorrow. Of course, the market, we'll look at the SPY real quick, was really weak today. Let me get this trend line off of there. That's a pretty good range on today. You're already red 1, 2. This is the 3rd day in a row down. Some support here nearby anyway, but that's pretty good sell-off. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm expecting a market bounce tomorrow because I don't know. But a lot of these are pretty good setups for bounces. And here's another one, ISIS. These lows back here, 57.72. So it's still at 62.39. But again, 4th day in a row down and a pretty good range today. Pretty good volume. It just goes on bounce watch. It doesn't mean I'll take it. Okay, it depends. It has to give a proper setup. ORMP had this insane move all the way up to 8 bucks yesterday, and then today, down. I want to say down with the market, but this thing needed to come in no matter what. That is such a huge move. I'd really like to see at least another red day, but I do want to have this on bounce watch going into Thursday just in case we get the right setup. RADA, a couple red after this huge move, couple nice red days down, declining volume. That's a pretty good setup for a bounce tomorrow. A different kind of bounce play here, SONC, had earnings and then sold off. I just think this selling might be overdone. You have pretty nice support, which was resistance back here. What's that number? Right around 32 bucks. Okay, it was resistance back here, decent support here, here, and here. And I just think that came too far too fast. So I'm kind of expecting that this will hold the 32 support and maybe give a nice bounce tomorrow. I think sometimes sellers get a hold of these things and they control them all day, and then with the market being weak. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a nice bounce in that one tomorrow. Again, remember, guys, I'm a day trader, so none of these mean anything to me unless they give me the proper setup. I'm in cash every night. So TRUE had this really nice move a couple days ago, and then now a couple down days. If this doesn't completely retrace, this one could turn back up. If you look at it on a 5-minute basis, it did have nice volume at the very end of the day on this little pop. So, again, I don't know that I'll play that. I'm not in love with that one by any stretch, but it's worth having on watch. This is a different kind of a bounce play. This is Weight Watchers, WTW. And there's no support on the chart. I mean, I think I went back to look at all-time, and I think it's at all-time lows. This is weekly. Going back as far as my chart will let me, it looks like 2001. So back to the daily. So this is super weak, but at the same time, I don't know what, 3-4 weeks ago, this thing was 18 bucks. So it's it's almost a third of that now. And really, just about 5 sessions ago, it was 10 bucks. So really, you cut in half, almost cut in half in the last 4 or 5 sessions at some point, and nice volume the last couple of days. So this one might be setting up for a decent bounce. Again, that's not based on anything other than how much it's down in the period of time. Other stocks in that space, NutriSystem, are holding up pretty darn well. That's the only other one I know of, actually, NTRI. But anyway, Weight Watchers is a company we've all heard of, so I definitely want to watch this for a bounce. I don't look at that chart and think it's a bullish chart, but I'm looking for a trade tomorrow. So with the proper setup, who knows? LL, I've had this on watch every day. We've had a bunch of nice trades in this one in the chat room. Massive volume today. It didn't close near its highs. Its highs were 33.30, and it closed below 32. But again, with this kind of craziness and this kind of volume, I've got to have Lumber Liquidators LL back on watch. OTIV. This one had great relative strength today. Remember, the market was really weak. I'm not sure. I think the Dow might have been down 300 points. I'm not even sure. But this is a nice volume spike, and it gave some back in the afternoon. But that, with the relative strength that it had today, I definitely want to watch it tomorrow. And VBLT, an excellent call by one of our moderators, Michael N. today. on VBLT, made a huge move. This was my best trade of the day, and I actually didn't catch his call. I was busy doing something else, but he called it long right here over this candle. He called it long at 656 with a 641 stop, and look what it did. I mean, it went all the way up over 780. And because I missed that move, and it popped through 7 myself, and then it came back down, I took it again right here, 695, thinking it would get a nice move, and it did. So I missed Michael N's call, but still found a way in. But this thing was amazing. And so I want to have it back on watch again. You know, with that 13 million shares, definitely it goes back on the watch list. Make sure we don't chase any of these, but definitely deserves to be on watch. You know, and we've got a reset. I call every night that, you know, the market closes for us day traders anyway. You know, we're not in trouble on a weekday. We just play the ones we can find that make sense, and then we get what I call a reset. You know, it's like the reset button, because we get an overnight. The markets are closed. We all wake up tomorrow morning. Then we'll have some new gappers to play. We'll have new news flow, and then we can trade accordingly on the ones that we pick that meet our parameters. And so it's just like a reset button is hit, and we're not in any trouble. No matter how the market opens tomorrow, because we're in cash. So, you know, in these kind of markets, I always feel good about the way I trade. You know, when the market's up every day, day in, day out, I feel a little silly for grinding it out on an intraday basis when all you had to do was buy and hold. But, you know, times like this feel a little bit better, you know, when you get a big push down in the SPY like today. And who knows? Have we seen all-time highs? You know, who knows? It wouldn't surprise me. In 3 weeks to be back up here. Wouldn't surprise me to be down here. I mean, really nothing surprises me anymore. So just take it on a day by day, find the stocks that are in play and play them, and then go home and sleep at night. All right, so I'll leave it at that, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.